G'day everyone, welcome to the Opal Mills. So today I finally get to show you this attachment that I've been going on about a bit. I hope I haven't overhyped it. And we're going to work on this. But first, I want to get to something that I've been getting a lot of repeated the same question, how I get where I get my split mandrels from. So I thought I'd just go through that quickly. So I'll let you know what I'm talking about. It's these bits that I use with sandpaper. I usually got a bit of paper rolled up and slide it on. And it makes a good little sanding, grinding, carving bit. But today we're going to use this. So what I've got is the offcuts, and you can buy this from Gem Cuts. Hope they survived quite well and didn't get too much damage in the flood, but they've been closed for a bit. I think they still are at this stage. Hopefully they'll be back open for business soon. But they sell these grits and sheets. Got the 280, 600, 1200, 3000. So today we're going to make one of these to fit these. So the slot will have to be slightly bigger to accommodate this thicker material as opposed to the thin paper. So we'll go through that first. Alright, so for this part, what we're going to be making is one of these. So it's just a split mandrel, and it's big enough slot to be able to fit some of this in. Now this is the resin coated or resin bonded material that goes on the soft pads that are made up. So we just got some off-cut bits from that to make use of. So what we're going to do is the same as the sandpaper mandrel, split mandrel, same thing, but we'll probably design a few different shapes up, points and obviously this shape. And first we'll just go through the process of, well, how do you make up your own mandrel? Really, this little bullet head nail will be fine. I think there's a 3.5 mil, and we're just going to use these. I'm just going to cut them to length. Do it right, might even get 2 out of each one. And I'll leave the heads on these and cut through the center. I didn't do that with this one. I thought, why not give it the extra strength? So anyway, we'll get on with how to make these. First, length. So if that's the top, that looks like a good length. We don't want these too long, and we might as well do all 3 at once. So I'll just quickly mark all 3 in the same length. So I'll have to cut them one by one. And we'll just do that with a hacksaw blade. Well, actually, what I use, a jeweler's blade. I'll get 2 lengths out of each one. Alright, so here are our little bits, and all they need is a slot cut down the center. So that's where we're going to come back over here and put these in upright, try and keep them straight. And we're going to start off the cut using the jeweler's blade, but take over with the hacksaw afterwards. Okay. That's a bit rough as nails, but we'll do the job. So I'm just going to neaten it up. File. Get our brown. Okay, so there we are, all done. 4 split mandrels out of nails. Can't wait to see what these do. So this is a bit of a trial and error for me. This may or may not work. So yeah, go find a bit of opal and we'll see what we can do. Okay, so with that done, let's move on to what you're probably all waiting for. Sorry, I had to delay it a bit. And we'll reveal this little attachment. So this is just going to give an added dimension to the machine's capabilities, and all on the one machine. What? Yeah, so this is it. So this is an adapter to be able to screw one of these on. And therefore, voila. So this is what we're going to be using for this video. On the same machine, but not the wheel. This is what we're going to be working. I'm going to see how well this does. Unfortunately, I'm not going to brand shame, I had to buy some cheapy looking bits until jump cuts are open again. I could shop somewhere else, but I prefer them. So I'm going to wait for them to open and order some proper bell top grinding tips and stuff like that, and a few other bits and pieces. But we're going to work on this today. Now this is a piece I'd started cleaning up. This is from a parcel I'd gotten, a carving parcel from David and Cherie Bone on Facebook auctions. And I haven't finished this one off yet. It's still got a little bit to go, but I think that's about all the colour there. But I thought that's going to make an awesome, earthy, pretty carving. So we're going to try and see what we can do to this without hurting it too much. And see if these even cut the grade. And then we'll try and finish the off with these before the cerium. So I'm going to head over to the wheel and put this on. Alright, so before we start, we're going to have to remove our wheel. So for this, let's see if I can get it. What I need to do is first switch off the power. Don't want anything happening. I'm going to reach behind and grab hold of the wheel pulley. I'm going to hold that, drop that, hold that tight. There we go, undo the wheel. I'm going to take this wheel right off. We'll put that aside. And we'll get this. Screw that straight on there. Okay, this is also where we're going to make use of our shield. And water out the way. This is what this was actually intended for. Insert that like so. Tap it with that. And there we have it. As this will stick out further than the shroud, especially once a bit's attached. Too much light fill. There we go. So yeah, as once the bit's attached in there, it sticks out past the shroud, so we've got the extra shroud protection. And so we just put this in here, tighten her up, switch our power back on. And that's what we'll be playing with. So the next thing we do is find the hole there and poke our water nozzle through. And then we're going to aim that, so it's going to drizzle on top of the bit. So there we go, all lined up, and we get the water on, and we'll see what this bit will do. Alright, so I actually have not used any of this yet, so we're all going to find out together how well this works. We may end up swapping to some of my small Dremel bits, which is not really ideal, I don't think, for this. They're a bit small. Just going to see what this wheel does. Seems to be doing its job. I'm just working out all this material down here, leaving this as a little island up top. Chasing out that spot of sand there. This is actually doing quite well, considering the wheel I'm using, or the bit. Now, you work from underneath and you can get two hands on it, and there is so much more control. I know I could use the Dremel, but with the right bits, this would happen a lot quicker. Yeah, quite a good finish. Don't ask me what grit this is, it was too cheap to tell me. Okay, just quickly, I'm using that one, but it seems very, very fine. So put this one in and see what we do. Alright, so what I'm finding is these bits are very fine. So I'm going to try something else. Now this was a 600 I bought, but it really doesn't seem a 600 to be honest. It seems a lot coarser. So I'm going to use that. Now I wouldn't recommend using these. Very thin mandrel, easily bent, so don't put too much pressure, just let the grit do the work. Let's see what this will do. Okay, so just having a quick look at this dry. It's leaving it nice and smooth, but I want to be able to get in and get these bits out a little bit quicker than I am. So I'm going to go down a couple of grips. Go to 170. Alright, so there's our patch of colour. The bar did try to travel down here as well, so there's hints of colour on the side there. bit of a hole in there which may have to be left or taken out altogether. A couple of spots where I think the sand sort of sporadically pops up and disappears. Tried to get rid of as much as possible, but I'm keen to see how this polishes using these other pads. So I'm going to get back onto the 600, might go for the 400 and the 600. Alright, swap this back. Oops. Sit there. Alright. So I think it's getting a nice finish over it. It's definitely an organic looking piece. Some really nice colour in there. A little bit more down here. So we'll just give it a quick dry out. And there we go. Try and move this out of the way. So the finish isn't too bad on it. And we're going to go back to the 280 grit anyway. And give it a good going over. That was a grey 1200, we'll go for the black one. Alright. So, again. Take that out. And here we go. Okay, so take this one out. Move under the 1200. Okay, I've just switched over to some paper for a bit. Getting through the finishes. It's not doing the 100% best job, but this piece has a lot of sand still. Probably going to poke up here and there. It's all through the base of it. But the main focus is up here. So I'm going to try and get that a bit better. Actually, let's take it to the brown 600. We'll just get this face sorted out. Okay, so now I'm going to putting in the 800 paper. Just get into the nooks and crannies I couldn't get into. Alright, first things first, I'm just going to do a quick review of my bits. So, worked great, but these kind of wear very quickly, apparently. It was a slight little bit of a bumpy ride with it, just because the shape wasn't even both sides. Other than that, they kind of worked pretty well. So I'll have to work on the design of something there. I might just not do them as a split next time. Might leave them flat and on a disc, so you can sort of use the side of them. But I think they'll wear pretty quick. But again, not too bad. I ended up using paper in the end to get a better finish. I think some of my grind marks are still there. I've got to get used to using it like this. I've never carved like that before, so this is my first. So yeah, I'll have a look at this quickly. So still got a colour, very thin bars. There is just one little tiny spot of bar, little glimpse there, and there's kind of another one under this potch. There's a bit of a layer there, bit of potch, and then there seems to be more colour bars that sort of popped very weakly. I don't think they will open up at all. It's evident by this side, there's nothing. And it seems to have all just layered along this edge. And oh yeah, I'm not going to go chasing them. But yeah, I like the shape of this one. It's one of my new favourites as far as the carving goes, the feel of it. I was toying with the idea of getting rid of that but I thought, no, I'll just leave it. And it's for me, for my collection, this piece, so I like it the way it is. But yeah, overall, that was fun. There you go, see some of my scratch marks. Need to work on my two-handed carving. I'm used to just one hand and holding it and sort of work them together in concert. But this way I'm just got to get used to moving against a still piece. Might be better off for roughing out carvings. I'm not sure about finishing them off. I'll have to wait till I get some better bits, appropriate bits. Again, these bits I was using for Dremel, excuse me, they're for Dremel, and they're a bit thin in the stem, and if you put too much pressure on them, they'll go out of whack instead of spinning. So be careful if you ever use anything like this thin with those. They work quite well if you got the right grit. There's no real need for pressure as in. But I would recommend a thicker stalk. So as soon as gem cuts get back on their feet, poor buggers, along with everyone else in New South Wales that's been flooded, I might be able to order some appropriate bits in and give it another go. Might even try and finish this one off a bit better. There's a lot of the sand just continues all the way through these. You get through one and another one pops up. So I gave up chasing them out. But yeah, anyway, that's the centerpiece there, which is nice and polished. I did use the flat lap for that part, and I need to work on my carving polishing on it a bit more, as I said, and hopefully end up with that kind of finish all over. Oops. So there we go. I'm quite pleased with it, quite happy. Great little attachment, to be honest. There's no way I could have done this with a wheel, and once I get the hang of it, I should be alright. So anyway, I'm going to end this video here. I'm getting ready for an Andamuka trip soon, and can't wait to get back up there, catch up with everyone, and see how it's coping after the flood we had up there too. So I'll end this video here and catch you in the next one. Cheers.